Hello, this is the street we live on, heading down to Alone, and you can see Alone Park. I'm jogging, so it's going to be a bouncy video. Friday afternoon, try and give you a short feel for Ramat Bet Shemesh Israel. This is the Alone. Goes all the way up there. Karabakh Synagogue's all the way up. Here's the park. It's sort of one of the nice long parks. Now we'll jog down to the Merkaz. Let's see. Get a feel for maybe some of the buildings. And up. It's 3:20 p.m. Friday, so candle lighting is in about 90 minutes, so there's not as much car traffic as there might ordinarily be. People are maybe already home. There's a 5G tower, but I don't think it's turned on. I measured it once. A lot of people here have kosher phones, which I think run on 2G. Now to the right is Ramat Bet Shemesh Israel Merkaz, which means center. That's where the main shops are. If you look down that way. Up on the hill there is Gimmel. You can see Gimmel is up there. I'm going to run down this way to Gimmel. It's all Ramat Bet Shemesh area. They have traffic circles here. They don't have really any stoplights here. Okay. Let's see. If I cross, let's go back up and cross so you can look through the valley and see where the new mall is. Cars are supposed to stop at the crosswalk. We'll see. So here you can see some new development going on. Far off in the distance there, in the center, is, I believe, Dalet. There's Ramat Bet Shemesh, Old Bet Shemesh, Aleph. There's a new mall that's being worked on. coming up to one of the larger traffic circles, and Har Yarkon is to the left, and it's about half a mile till you get to the main road. It's 3855. I'm a little new in town, and that would take you to 1, and 1 take you towards Jerusalem. We're about 50 minutes, an hour from Jerusalem. Here's a close-up of the mall. They haven't been doing much work on it. I don't know. There's crane. Show you up Har Yarkon. And we're going to come to Yamut Park. It's the other big park in Ramat Bet Shemesh Israel. It borders Gimmel. Now, it's a little bit of a bike path here. You can see the park area there, some grass. On the left is Aleph. On the right is Gimmel Shtayim, Gimmel 2. And in the far distance is Neve. I'm forgetting the name. The 4 towers there. Over here, Neve Shamir is all the way those towers up towards the right. Okay, so here, I guess they're doing some development. There you can see some of the mall. Up on the right now is Gimmel, which is really Hebrew alphabet for those. It's Aleph, Bet, Gimmel. So we're running this way. Again, we can look to the left, Gimmel Shtayim. I haven't been here that long, but you can get a feel for what this area looks like. It's supposed to double in size, I believe, in the next 3, 4, 5 years. It's supposed to become the 3rd, 4th largest city area in Israel. With, I think right now it has 100 to 150,000 people. It should have about 200 to 300,000 people very soon. With people buying pre-builds. I don't know what the sign says so much. I'm trying to take Hebrew, but if anyone wanted to get any information, they could look. It'd take too long to try and figure it out. Ear, city, Ramat Bet Shemesh. Okay. There's always a lot of building going on, and just running straight up. A lot of people will have stores in there. They enclose their parking spaces, and you can put things like lawyer's office or haircut place. What they do is, if you have covered parking, you can close it off without too much permits. If you're doing any other kind of building, you need tons of permits and permissions, and there's illegal build, but they're getting tough on that. So that's one thing. There's a lot of add-on additions. Another thing you have to be wary of is water problems. I like to say we're in the middle of the desert and there's a lot of water here, but it's It's not outside, it's in the walls of the buildings. So I'm just going to keep running straight. We're almost done at the end. Another day I'll go and maybe run into Gimmel Stayim. It's relatively new. There's not much there. Here's one of the stores. Shavla Bracha. See. So we'll just run to the store and we'll maybe cross and go into the store and see what a little shopping center looks like. Here's the cars they have to stop. Lots of stone. Jerusalem stone. It's required that buildings use the stone. It's actually, I think there's cinder blocks underneath and they face it. But sort of like, think about it, like a veneer of Jerusalem stone. So you see it. These little holes are for water to come out. It rains here about 2-3 months out of the year. And the water just comes right out on the sidewalk. It's usually not that much of a problem. Could come into your marpeset, though, which is your courtyard. You have to be careful about water. Okay, so you can see there's a little bit of parking here, and we'll just walk down to this little shopping area. So all the stores will be closed because it's right before Shabbos. People probably don't want their pictures online anyways, so it's a good time to take a look. I think there's 2 floors. I don't need to go up to the second floor. You can get a look at what's there. It really does help to know Hebrew, and there are people who do speak English. I think I find it helps when you tell them you're learning Hebrew or you're an Alpan. Ani lomed Alpan. Okay, well, I think you might have seen enough for one day. Go around and a little further. I'm not going to turn left or right. I'll just go straight. Yeshayahu HaNavi. They named the streets after the prophets. You can probably Google it. Google already has these names in Devorah and Avia. See up, they're doing at Gimmel a lot of work. Another 5G tower in the background. There is not always good cell reception we'll just go up to the park. You can maybe see surrounding area. Maybe I'll go to the top of that mountain. You can get a feel for the layout. Here's a close-up of some of the apartments. If you notice, the balconies are staggered for a reason. They give a little bit of an area for a sukkah. You cannot have something above your sukkah. It needs to be open straight up to the heavens. So it's just enough space in most cases to eat. And only the men are required by law to try and eat in a sukkah if it's available. The women can certainly, but it's much more of a, I don't want to say burden, it's responsibility for men. So that's why you see these offset balconies. And some of the ground floors have little gardens or gardens. Let's see what we have. A lot of this is a typical park. They have a lot of parks and they're made pretty safe. Lots of little kids here. You can see there's some real grass here. Benches. Pretty important because the weather is nice year-round. Why don't I go and I'll run up. We'll see what we can see from that cell towers. Not one of the highest points. You can see back down the street I ran on. There's some shops around the corner from that Sheva Brucha grocery store. But it's not built up like with shops all over, nor billboards or such. Okay, so just go off. All this area might be being built up soon. It's quite a process to get new approved zoning. Yeah, we probably want to have a good view. You could, won't take me too long to get to the top here, for what that's worth. There's okay, there's some in the Neve Shamir. There's some cranes. They're building some Soho place with, I believe, something like 10 high-rises. There, looking down. That road to your left goes to Gimmel. A lot of these areas, I don't know what you want to call them, just different places, different names for all of, the Bet Shemesh area. Because of the mountains, a lot of times there's one road or two roads in. But the traffic, I don't see it exceptionally bad. Because just during maybe school time, but other than that, a lot of people don't have cars. Okay, that's it for today. If you like hiking, there's plenty of places fairly close by to hike. This is one of the big mountain bike area riding places, although you have to get something called Chumash, some gook in your bike tires, because there's some plants with very sharp needles that will pierce your tire. Forget what it's called. Hard for me to run and talk and think. So I haven't even run on this road before. See if we get a picture of. Okay. So you get a little bit of a sense of the road that goes between Gimmel Shayim and Gimmel in Bet Shemesh. And I don't think that's anything more that you're gonna see, even if I go up a little higher. There's lots of flowers and plants. I took an edible. This is probably some wild lettuce you could maybe eat I took a foraging class, and there's lots of edible Europe vegetables, weeds. I don't know what you call them. Okay. So that road, at the end of that road, you see, you're basically back in Ramat Bet Shemesh. To your left would be another big park on Yarmut Park. I think I mentioned it. It's off of Yarkon. Okay. One last maybe panoramic of the area. I'll go back because it's just most of these apartments are full. People get pre-builds. They buy ahead of it being completed because housing is very tight here. Okay. Signing off. Have a good Shabbos.